savewithconrad.com.
My name is Rajiv. I'm in Sacramento, California. I came to Save with Conrad because I've heard Conrad talk about how he helps people all the time save money and the best route to go for getting some mortgages and finances done. And having heard so many different testimonials in the past, it made the most sense to go this route. We were in the market for a new house and we wanted to know what we could afford. So we spoke with Steve and then Diane to get through the pre-approval process to see what we could afford. And then once we were able to understand that aspect of it, that was when we were able to shop around for a house to get a mortgage through Save with Conrad. Everybody on the team was great. Everybody really explained everything fully to where it was more in like layman's terms to where I could understand it as someone not in the business or having shopped around for houses too many times. So being able to understand every step of the process and talking with everyone on the team about that was really, really helpful. And it made me feel really confident that I was going the right route. I would definitely recommend Save with Conrad to others. I know that sometimes people look at it and they go, oh, they're based in Alabama. What could they help me with? But I'm out here in California and they were able to square everything away and get things done really quickly, as opposed to sometimes even people out here don't move as quickly as the Save with Conrad team. So everything was really well done, really efficient, and I would definitely recommend Save with Conrad to others. My name is Rajiv. I'm in Sacramento, California, and I was able to get into my dream home with savewithconrad.com.
NMLS number 212, non-equal housing lender. savewithconrad.com. Hey, it's Conrad, the mortgage guy, and you're listening to What Happened When? With the voice of your childhood, Tony Schiavone. Tony, what's going on, man? How are you?
I'm hanging in there, buddy. How's everybody doing here tonight, listening to us on What Happened When?
Man, we are excited to be here with you today. We are fresh off the heels of a low-key big hog / Top Guy weekend. And it was in St. Louis, of course, coinciding with a fabulous AEW Wrestle Dream pay-per-view. Tony, I had a great time in St. Louis. How about you?
Yeah, it's a good wrestling town, and always seem to have a good time there wherever we work. We love the Shavitz Arena. I had a chance to actually go from Kansas City, drove across the state of Missouri into St. Louis on Thursday, and really enjoyed the time. Really enjoyed the time. I really I miss my dogs, miss being home, but I really enjoyed the time. So it was good. I like trips like that.
It was a great time. We had a blast. Of course, if you haven't already, you need to make plans to join us. Tony, I don't want to spill the beans just yet, but I know you and I had some preliminary discussions, and I looped in Jeff Jarrett and our buddy Evan Polisher, who helps us over at the Ad Free Shows. And we've already started to map out Top Guy Rumble at the end of January. You know a little bit of what we have planned.
Yes,
how fun is that going to be?
I think it's going to be great. Am I right? Explain to me what Top Guy Rumble is, because I think I know.
Well, you know, we started out just doing one of these get-togethers a year, And now we've decided we're going to do 2 a year. And a lot of that was born out of, we just thought, hey, let's just have some fun at the Rumble a couple of years ago. And we did it with Efren. And Efren always does such a fabulous job with the game event. He came up with a Royal Rumble game. So all of our top guys and gals got to, to pull a number for the men's Royal Rumble and the women's Royal Rumble. And it was a blast. We had some games, we had some gifts, we had some laughs. But then we expanded it to where we also, earlier this year, we added like a fantasy camp. So fans could step in the ring for the first time and learn how to do some stuff. And well, we've got some big plans with some big names, and I'm fired up. We'll have all the details here in the next few weeks. We're going to have it well in advance because we want to make sure everybody has plenty of time to make plans to join us. But I think this next event is going to be maybe our most special yet, Tony.
Okay, very good. I'm excited about it. I've got a little bit of an idea what you got going on, and I know you'll release all the information very soon.
We sure will. And of course, we had a blast this past weekend. If you haven't already, make plans to join us at next year's Top Guy events over at adfreeshows.com or patreon.com/WHW Monday. Whether you're a low-key Big Hog member or you're one of our top guys, you're going to have a blast. And I got to tell you, we had such a great panel. We heard from Trevor Murdoch. He got emotional sharing some Harley race stories with us, some stories we've never heard before. Powerhouse Hobbs joined us, and man, I saw some people tearing up with him sharing his real life story. I mean, his life has almost been a movie. And of course, we got to catch up with Eddie Kingston, who is about as real as it gets. You've said he's one of your favorite performers of all time.
Yep.
To know that guy is to love that guy. He's so honest. He's so open. He's so transparent. And even old Double J, he was in a good mood. I heard from a few people afterwards, including Dave Green, who's my partner in Podcast Heat. And he said, hey, that was some of your best work, your panel with Jeff Jarrett. But perhaps the most fun of the weekend was the silly comedy show that we checked out.
Right.
And what an unbelievable time that was. You did a fabulous job as a stand-up comedian. You do have a future in that anytime you want to. How great was RJ? How great was Colt Cabana? They did a good job with that show.
They were all great, but I don't think there's any question the person that stole the show was Harley Cameron.
Every time.
As we knew she would.
Yes.
We knew she would. By the way, I was talking to her and talking to RJ and talking to Colt Cabana. The song that she performed for us.
Yes.
She wrote that day, just like that, right on top of her head. And it was an amazing, amazing song. And so when we have a big pay-per-view event, we have our VIPs, right?
Right.
And when you get a VIP ticket, you get I think you get your picture taken in the arena. You get to do a couple of meet and greets, and always there's kind of a meet and greet with me.
Right.
And so I got up front and said hello to everyone, said some of my silly shit, and a lady on the front row had a sign for me. She opened it up, it was handwritten. It said foreskin. And I said, put that away, lady. I said, you want me to say anything about it? She said, no, I just want to get your attention with it. So she obviously was at the comedy show as well. Not to quote unquote spill the beans about this, but you got to see Harley perform live to be able to understand how she had the crowd going. So
her number one single with a bullet, Foreskin.
Right.
Hypothetically, is it possible for you to put your hoodie on over your headphones? Is that possible?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because I saw Harley at the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And I said, I've been thinking maybe what you need to do is you and a few other ladies get a little gaggle, a little group going.
Yeah.
Maybe y'all could be the foreskin women instead of the 4 horsewomen, the foreskin women, and just come out in hoodies like that and reveal yourself.
Right.
Could work.
I think it'll be great. I think it'll be great.
If none of this makes sense, it would if you were there. Make plans to join us next year. By the way, I don't know if you saw this, but Brandon Toll, who does a fabulous job for us with a program called Top of the Card over at adfreeshows.com. In real life, he's a trading card dealer, and he's local to the area. He's only like 25 minutes from St. Louis.
Right.
He popped by, and we opened some packs. I had 2 boxes of old WCW cards that we broke.
Right.
David Crockett actually brought a stack of loose packs of cards, and we made sure that all the top guys got a pack to open and we could sort of share what we found. And I was actually able to snag a few Doug Dillinger rookie cards, which I sent home with David Crockett so he could get Doug to autograph them. We're going to get them slabbed up and then gift them back to Doug. Don't tell anybody, but I wanted his grandkids to have an autographed and rated slabbed up rookie card of their pawpaw. I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
But maybe the coolest pull of all, Coach Keith Morrison, somehow, some way, pulled a loss for 25 years or more autographed Kurt Hennig WCW trading card. We took a look at it online, and they're going for $1,500 or more. And it was just a free pack that somehow, some way, Mr. Crockett had just had stored in the garage for decades. And now Coach Keith won a $1,500 Mr. Perfect autograph. How badass is that?
Wow. Coach Keith is with us, by the way, because he said he took a day off because of travel. Coach Keith, are you going to, you can tell us in the comments here, are you going to keep it? Are you going to make some money off of it?
He needs to slab it and hang on to it. He also said, first of all, everything at Top Guy Weekend was great.
Yeah.
Thank you, Conrad, for everything. The best part of the weekend was my picture with Tony and David Crockett. That meant a lot to me. Thank you, Tony. Hey, we even had the big gold belt there.
Yeah.
Anytime you can get your picture made with Tony and David Crockett with the big gold belt, that's a cool photo op, I think.
Good stuff, man. Absolutely. And yeah, there's a lot of good things. A lot of this podcast has done one, not a couple of things for me, obviously, but one thing that I'll never forget what it's done for me is being able to build a community and being able to everybody get together, know everybody. I mean, Bad Money Slim, we always see him. We always see Coach Rosie. Dave McClay's here all the time. Coach Keith is here. I know I'm going to miss some other ones. Bryant's been with us for quite a while, and it's just good being able to connect. And I've met a lot of people through this that I'm very, very happy to know. And I even got to meet Adam DeMoy through this. So you can't always be 100% about meeting good people. But it's been all stuff, all good stuff.
Well, it has been all good stuff. We hope that you'll make plans to join us. We are fired up for today's episode because we've got some fun stuff lined up. First of all, I want to tell you, we're going to be watching one of my favorite matches of all time, Tony, and it's a match you've never seen. It was on Ring of Honor's Main Event Spectacles. It happened on November 1st, 2003. So we're going to go back 22 years ago. By the way, this episode is brought to you by the Honor Club. You can watch Ring of Honor TV every Thursday at 7 Eastern, 6 Central, exclusively on Honor Club at watchroh.com. It's only $9.99 a month, and it's available on Apple and the Google Play app stores. You can even catch it on Roku or Amazon Fire, and we greatly appreciate Ring of Honor allowing us the opportunity to share this show with you guys. But I think before we get started, we should talk a little bit about sports, Tony, because I don't know if you saw over the weekend, but my Alabama Crimson Tide, they took old Double J's Tennessee Volunteers to the woodshed. Did you see this?
No, of course I didn't. I really don't watch college football at all anymore. I do check the scores afterwards, but I did not see the game, of course.
Well, I was pretty excited for two reasons. One, I love when Alabama gets a win.
Yeah.
And secondly, I love when I get to give Jeff Jarrett shit about it.
Yeah.
And so I have been challenging him, hair versus beard, because he has a strict rule. He doesn't cut his hair unless it's in Mexico for money. That's a fact. You can Google that. And, well, listen, I don't need nobody. The world does not need to see me without this beard. Now, thankfully, he was not that confident, and he decided to bet a steak dinner. Now, I just assumed, Tony, that if Jeff lost a steak dinner to me, I could count on it being those new Arby's steak nuggets. Have you seen those?
No.
It's basically wet beef jerky. And that's kind of what I expected.
Wet beef jerky.
I was surprised. We went to Ruth's Chris the other night, and Jeff Jarrett picked up the bill, and I don't know who was more shocked, me, Jeff, or those Tennessee fans during that ass whipping. Take a look at this photo here.
Uh-huh.
I mean, now some people are going to say, oh, that's because of the pick six. No, it's not. That's Jeff Jarrett seeing the amount on a Roost Chris bill where he got a seafood tower and I got a filet with some shrimp. And I wish Mr. Crockett would have ordered dessert. Had we known that Jeff wasn't going to be old alligator arms and he was going to pick up the tab at a Roost Chris, I think we all would have maybe added some more stuff. But yeah, how about that? Did you ever see that happening? Jeff Jarrett picking up the tab at a Roost Chris? I could have never called that.
I've never heard that, and it had to be a big tab. One, because it's Ruth Chris, and two, because as much as Jeff eats, he is the biggest eater I've ever been around in my life.
He ordered a seafood tower for himself, Jeff.
I'm sure he did. Was Karen with you?
No, Karen didn't make the pay-per-view. She was only there for comedy and then flew home.
Oh, and then she flew home. Okay, well.
She flew up just for comedy because she loves Colt. How cool is that?
Yeah, that's tremendous. And we had a lot of fun with her as well. I would not go out to dinner with Jeff unless she was along.
Well, I went because Dave Green and David Crockett were there. And
there's a good reason.
I could watch the Tennessee game and troll Jeff. And I got a free steak out of the deal.
Yeah.
So I won big last week. You can win this big this week with Prize Picks. This episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. And listen, you and I make decisions every day, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss on any of the excitement this season on Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. I had a lot of fun this last weekend. And well, I know, Tony, you're going to have some fun this weekend. Here's how easy it is with Prize Picks. You just make a couple of picks, more or less, on 2 to 6 different player stat projections, and you're good. And it could be really simple stuff like, hey, I think Joe Burrow is going to have more or less than 2.5 passing touchdowns. I think Josh Allen is going to have more or less than 270 passing yards. Prize Picks is the best way to get action in on sports in more than 40 states. I'm talking to you, California, Texas, hell, even over in Georgia, where Tony is. By the way, Prize Picks puts their users first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. Prize Picks now has Venmo, Apple Pay, MasterCard, more. They want quick and easy deposits into your account, and they also offer injury reboots. If one of your players leaves the game in the first half and doesn't return, Prize Picks won't count it as a loss. Prize Picks even invented the flex play, which means you can still cash out even if your lineup isn't perfect. So what are you waiting for? Let's have some fun. And Tony, I know you're a big Prize Picks guy. What's on the docket for you right now?
2 games coming up this week. The Thursday night game, and that is between Minnesota and the Chargers. I got Justin Herbert, who's the quarterback for the Chargers, having more than 1.5 passing touchdowns. So in other words, if he has 1 pass touchdown, I've lost. If he gets 2, I won that one. And then Justin Jefferson, the wideout for the Minnesota Vikings, I got him with more than 1/2 rushing plus receiving touchdowns. If I win that, then I'm going to win $60, and I got to put up $20 for that. So that's the Thursday night game I got. And then on Sunday, I always like to go with the Bills. The Bills have more times than not, I don't know why, never let me down. So I got James Cook, former Georgia Bulldog, running back for the Buffalo Bills, having more than 1/2 rushing plus receiving touchdowns. And then I got McMillan, the wide receiver for Carolina, at less than 65.5 yards. What you can do before you make the pick, you can select that player, and it'll tell you what he has done this season per game. So, for instance, with James Cook, and I've already selected it, so I can't go back and look at it. But it can tell. Before I pick James Cook, it can tell me how many rushing and receiving touchdowns he's had per game. So they give you a lot of stats and a lot of things to back up your picks with. And the good news is, and I've been playing it now for a couple of years. The good news is that I have been playing it for, well, like a little over, I guess, 2 years. And I've won $860 on Prize Picks.
Well, how about that? Download the app today. Use the code WHW to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code WHW to get you $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. So, Tony, we kicked off our big event this past weekend, Top Guy Weekend, the same way we kick it off all the time, with really what, even though it goes first, it truly is the game event with Efren. This time we played Name that tune, the wrestling version. Now, you didn't get to play that game, did you, Tony? You weren't there to see that, were you?
No, not at all.
Well, I thought, why don't we just bring the game to what happened when? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome the inaugural launch of the game event here on What Happened When. Efren, welcome to the show, bud.
Hi, Tony.
Efren, say hello to Conrad too, you son of a bitch.
Hi, Conrad.
Well, hello.
Look at this.
How are
Look
they,
at-
kind sir?
Look at this
I
background.
postponed my weekly colonoscopy for you tonight, Tony,
Oh, you
just
did?
to be here.
Okay. Well,
Are you ready to play?
yeah, I love the background.
It's time for the game events. The game event is here on What Happened When, as Tony Schiavone and Conrad Thompson play for $100 to either the Georgia Humane Society or St. Jude's Children's Hospital.
All right, I like that.
Does
All right.
this board look familiar, Tony Schiavone?
No.
We are playing Wrestling Card Sharks tonight. Remember
Okay.
Card Sharks, Tony?
I
No.
don't.
Okay.
Uh,
Tony, I surveyed 100 wrestling fans,
yeah.
and I asked them this. MJF is doing a private meet and greet signing for 10 people. You paid $100 for it that morning. The person in front of you tells you they paid $1,000 for the signing. Do you tell them how much you paid? How many of the 100 wrestling fans I surveyed, Tony, said, yeah, they would tell the person in front of them they only paid $100?
I would say 50 of them.
50. Why?
Well, I'm trying to think. Wrestling fans are kind of a different breed. You see a lot of big mouths and you see a lot of guys who are on their own and silent. So that's why I say it.
Conrad, is that number going to be higher or lower than 50?
It's going to be higher.
Why?
I think that wrestling, everyone wants to share their opinion, and even the performers themselves, nobody wants to get worked. Everybody wants to tell everybody how smart they are and how they called it and they knew it and blah, blah, blah. So I think there is that air of that in pro wrestling and certainly even in wrestling fandom. So I'm going to say more than 50%.
The actual number of people who said they would tell the person in front of them they paid $100 instead of $1,000 is 21. It was lower. Tony, control goes to you. Your base card is a 10. You can change it and try to make it better, or you can go higher or lower off the 10.
I'll change. I'll
change that card.
No,
Your
I'll change it.
10
Yeah.
now becomes another 10. You have to play it.
Okay.
That's like swapping Harley Cameron for Penelope Ford. Damn it. This is not fair.
Higher or lower than the 10, Tony?
I'm going to go lower than the 10.
Lower than the 10. No, it was a queen, Tony.
Okay.
A queen.
Okay.
Conrad, you get a free shot at the cards. You got to play this one. It is a 9.
I'm good with it. 9. I'm going to keep it.
And go higher or lower?
It's going to go lower.
Lower than the 9.
Yep.
No. We both start again.
Okay.
Conrad, question goes to you.
Okay.
The wrestler you are most attracted to, Conrad, comes up to you and asks you to be part of a throuple. You, them, and your partner. Do you say yes before you even ask your partner? How many of our 100 wrestling fans said, yeah, they would say yes and agree to it before they told their partner?
40%, 40.
Why?
Well, there's a lot of people who are going to be happily married like me but know that they would be very unhappily married if they said yes. It would be a situation here at the Thompson household, and I imagine a lot of households are like that, including Mr. Schiavone's. And then there would be other people, including people who are with us here tonight, Bad Bunny Slim, who would say, "I don't give a damn. I'll figure it out and I'll sell it. We'll figure it out later." So, Slim, he represents the 40.
Tony, is that number going to be higher or lower?
Does that number represent the percentage that would
The number out of 100.
number of 100 that would do it?
That would
Yes.
say yes before they even told their partner.
No, I'm going to say it's lower.
Why?
I just think that most people wouldn't give up the ghost on that. I think most people would try to work it to where they didn't have to tell their partner.
The actual number of people who would agree to a throuple with the wrestler they're most attracted to before they even ask their partner is 39. One less. It was lower.
God damn it. I nailed that too.
Tony, you can change that 10 if you like.
I'm going to keep it.
Keep it.
Yeah. And the next one is going to be lower.
Lower than the 10. A 9.
Oh.
You can freeze there if you want to protect your position or keep going. Try to make it to the end.
Okay. I'm going to go lower with a
Lower than the 9. It's a 7. You can freeze there and protect your position. There's one question left in this round.
Okay. I'm going to freeze right there and hang on to my position.
We put the bar over and Tony's position is protected. Third and final question of the round. Someone has to win this round on the turn of the cards, and the question goes to you, Tony.
Okay.
Regarding the throuple question asked in the last question.
Yeah.
When do you tell your partner that you were propositioned by your favorite wrestler? In a reasonable amount of time or never? How many people would never tell their partner what just happened?
I'm going to say 75 out of 100 would tell their partner.
Pretty high, Conrad.
Yeah.
Is that number going to be higher or lower?
Lower.
Why?
It's going to be a problem because the next question is going to be, why were you in a position where they felt comfortable pitching that? So putting yourself in that predicament, it's going to be a problem. So that's when you keep to yourself.
Okay.
The actual number of people who would never tell their partner what happened is 25. It was lower. And Conrad, here's where we are. You can change that 9 if you want and try to get a better card and go all the way. If you make it to the end, you win the round. Or Tony has to play off the 7. If he misses 1, you win the round.
He's going to play off the 7. Let's make him play off
the 7. Yep. Tony, control passes to you. You have to go to the end to win the round.
I'm going to go lower than the 7.
Lower than the 7. It is a 2.
Damn it.
And I'm going to go higher than the 2.
To win round 1, is it higher than the 2? It is, and you have won round 1, Tony.
Bullshit.
We go to round 2. The question goes to you, Conrad.
Hell yeah, it does. Hell yeah, it does. I'm ready.
Conrad, we surveyed 100 wrestling fans and asked them, your 5-year-old asks if wrestling is scripted. Do you tell them yes? How many people would tell their 5-year-old that wrestling was scripted?
Wow.
70.
70 out of 100. Tony, is that going to be higher or lower?
Of course, that all depends if the kid likes it or not, but I'm going to say it's lower.
Why?
Because I think it's kind of like, is there a Santa Claus? You don't want to, I've got 2 grandchildren and they don't know it's not real, or I'm sorry, it's scripted. Pardon me.
The actual number of people who would tell their 5-year-old that wrestling is scripted is 32. It was lower. Tony, you control the cards. Here's your card. It's a 6. You can change it if you like.
Yeah, I'll change it.
Change it. Your 6 now becomes a 3.
Next card's higher.
Higher than the 3. It's a king.
My God.
The next card's lower.
Lower than the king. No.
Oh, mother.
Conrad, you get a free shot off the cards. It is a 6. You've got to play it. Higher than the 6. A 7.
Higher
Than the 7. It's a jack.
Lower
Than the jack. No.
Dun, 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 dun.
Back to you, Tony. Question number 2.
Okay.
Your 13-year-old asked if wrestling is scripted.
Mm-hmm.
Do you tell them yes? How many of our 100 wrestling fans said, yeah, they would tell their 13-year-old wrestling is scripted?
I'm going to say 30.
30. 30 out of 100, Conrad.
way higher.
The actual number of people who would tell their 13-year-old that wrestling was scripted is 69. It was higher, Conrad. Control passes to you, and you can change that 6 if you want.
Let's change that 6.
Your 6 now becomes another 6.
What a fucking rib. Okay, I'm gonna guess that my next card is lower.
Lower than the 6. It's a 5.
The next card will be higher.
Higher than the 5. It's a queen.
You damn right it is. The next card will be lower.
Lower than the queen. A 9.
Can I freeze my position here?
You can.
I'd like to freeze my position here.
It would freeze it on the 9 to protect his position. And we go to our final question of round 2. Tony, is this you? I think it's you, right?
Yep.
Okay. Tony, you're out on a first date with someone at dinner who's really into you and you're really into them. They're beautiful and funny, and they tell you that wrestling is childish and stupid and you have to be dumb to watch that fake stuff. They also want to know when you can go out on a second date. How many people would not go out on a second date with this person based off what they said?
These are wrestling fans, right?
Yes.
Yes. I would say 75.
75 out of 100 would not go out with them again, Conrad.
That number is much lower. My wife said that on our first date, and her dad's Ric Flair. So, yeah, the answer is lower.
The actual number of people who would not go out on a date again with this person is 47. It was much lower. Conrad, you can change that 9 and try to get it better, or you can have Tony play off the 3. He has to go all the way. If he does, he wins the donation.
I will change the 9.
The 9. The 9 becomes now a queen.
The next card is lower.
Lower to tie the game. It is, and you have won round 2.
Hell yeah. I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
We go to round 3. 2 question max. 3 cards. Winner of this wins the donation. Conrad, you and your 6-foot friend have paid $400 for front row at Dynamite when you see a wheelchair-bound child struggling to see over you. You offered to change seats with them, and now your seats are 20 rows back. 10 minutes later, security comes over to you and tells you that your tickets are fake and you're going to get kicked out of the arena. Do you tell security that they're the kid's tickets and have him thrown out instead of you to get your seats back?
Pop a wheelie and hit the bricks, pal.
How many of our 100 people said, yeah, they would tell security to get their seats back?
80%.
80 out of 100, Tony, would rat out the kid to get their seats back. Is that going to be higher or lower?
It's going to be lower.
Why? Oops, I hit the wrong one. Go ahead.
Because it's the right thing to do.
What, the kid ripped you off? What the hell, Tony?
He didn't know.
He's a little wheelchair scammer. That's what happened. He's probably not even really in the wheelchair. He's working a gimmick.
Yeah, okay, see.
The actual number of people who would have that kid kicked out to get their seats back is 53. It was much lower.
Damn it.
Tony, you are 3 cards away from getting a donation to the Georgia Humane Society. Here is your card. It is a 2.
Bullshit. This is rigged.
Higher
than the 2. It's an 8. You can freeze and play one more round, or you can try to win it all right now.
And we'll try to win it all right now and say it's lower.
Lower to win the donation to the Georgia Humane Society. Is it lower? It is, and you have won the game.
Woof, woof, woof.
The game event is going to donate $100 in Tony Schiavone's name to the Georgia Humane Society. Of course, we're going to be donating another $100 in Conrad Thompson's name to St. Jude's Children's Hospital. Thank you very much for having me. The game event returns to ad-free shows very, very soon. Tony, Conrad, thank you very much. I love you guys. You know I do.
Oh, thank you,
Efren.
Man, that was awesome. Thank you very much.
Buddy.
Have a great show.
All right.
By the way, now feels like a good time to remind you that it's time to enter the room dick first. Blue Chew's not just a tablet. It's a cheat code for your crotch. Stronger, harder, longer lasting. Like somebody gave your downstairs a pep talk and a gym membership. Blue Chew is the original brand offering chewable tablets for better sex. Sometimes I like to take a Blue Chew to make standing in line a little easier. Gives me something to lean on. Guys, we're not just talking about performance. We're talking about your legacy or your third legacy. Give her group chat something to talk about. Nothing makes you more of a legend than a little Blue Chew. Go discover your options right now at bluechew.com. And we've got a special deal for our listeners. As always, get your first month of Blue Chew free. Just use the promo code WHW at checkout and pay $5 for shipping. That's it. Join Blue Chew's mission to upgrade humanity one thrust at a time. Head on over to bluechew.com for details and important safety information. And a big thanks to Blue Chew for sponsoring today's podcast. Tony, how badass was that game? That was fun, wasn't it?
Yeah, Efren really should probably. I think he should apply and for some game show host on TV.
I made a pitch this weekend
Right.
that he doesn't know about, but I got my fingers crossed for that.
Good.
Shout out to Efren and the game event. It was a lot of fun. He does this with us over at adfreeshows.com. And of course he does it at our live events like Low Key Big Hog Weekend and Top Guy Weekend. And I got my fingers crossed that we can have Efren back playing some more games here on What Happened When. That was fun, wasn't it, Tony?
Yeah, let's have you back because I like to smoke your ass again.
Oh, God damn. Will you stop? All right. Without further ado, we're going to have a fun time here watching some old school Ring of Honor. You're going to be able to watch with us right here on YouTube. But I want to remind you again, it's brought to you by Honor Club. Watch Ring of Honor TV every Thursday at 7 Eastern, 6 Central, exclusively at Honor Club. Watch ROH.com. It's only $9.99 a month, and it's available on Apple, Google Play, Roku, Amazon Fire. That's watchroh.com. And we're going way back. I'm excited for you to see this, Tony, because you've never seen this show, right? Main Event Spectacles, the one we're about to watch?
I have not. I know there's some, and I was going through the list that was provided to us, and I'm thinking, ooh, there's some great shit on here. So I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Well, let's go ahead and without further ado, get that footage locked and loaded. Do you have a special countdown for us this week? Do we have one? Okay. Can you just kick it old school for us, you think? And then we'll start rolling some Ring of Honor.
We're kicking it old school. Ready? In 3, 2, 1, play.
Going to the block, a Field of Honor Finals versus Xavier.
So how about that, Tony? Did you know there was once upon a time what do you think, Tony? Once upon a time, the Briscoes both had hair. Both wore singlets. You ever see the Briscoes, the early Briscoes like this before?
I've only seen shots when they show the Briscoes during Mark's entrance. You know, they I've seen that, but I've never seen him wrestle like this. And I did not know that Jim Cornette was their manager at one time.
How wild is that, dude?
That is wild. So how about this, man?
Now here comes Special K.
Okay.
This is I think that we're gonna see. I could be wrong on this, but I think this is Izzy and Dixie.
Okay.
Special K.
Izzy and Dixie.
Yeah, the gimmick is they're like wealthy kids who were like ravers. So they
Okay.
just like to party. So they're gonna be out here dancing around with the silly hats and
Yeah.
the suckers in their mouth and all that. The gimmick is this Special K is a reference to ketamine. It's like I don't know that this was ever something in your era, but once upon a time, kids my age would say, "Hey man, let's do ecstasy." Now, of course, I'm too fat to experiment, so I didn't do any of that. But yeah, here you go. Special K going to take an old school ass whooping from the Briscoes. And I got to tell you, in this era of Ring of Honor, if Jim Cornette was going to manage any tag team, the Briscoes make about as much sense as anybody, don't they?
Oh, I would think so. Absolutely, they would. And so Izzy and Dixie, did they
Yes.
wrestle any other names? I can't I don't recognize them here.
Yeah, that's a good question. I think Izzy also wrestled as Dragon or Blue Dragon or Insane Dragon.
Okay.
And let me see if Dixie had any other names. Nope. Dixie was just Dixie. He's trained by Charlie Haas and Russ Haas and got absolutely obliterated once with some chops, I think, by Bryan Danielson to the point that his chest started bleeding. It was bananas.
Okay. I got to ask Brian about that one. So is he wrestling? Has he got paint on his face or wrestling with a patch on his eye?
I think he's got like a bandana.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I got it. A bandana.
Man, did you see him just take that face bump right there? Just
I know.
man, everything the Briscoes are doing has got some snap on it. This is a different Briscoes era. You know it?
Sure. You know, the first time I saw the Briscoes, if you'll recall, was when we were at Madison Square Garden.
That was your first time.
Yes, first time I'd ever seen him wrestle.
Wow.
Because I don't know if you remember, I turned to you and said, "These are not the sons of Jack and Jerry, are they?" And you went, "No, different Briscoe family." But I think we can definitely say, and I think everybody watching would agree with this, that Mark Briscoe is one of the great kids.
I think
Just-
Mark Briscoe is probably one of the best television wrestlers
Mhm.
around. Just he's such a great character. Like if I was telling somebody this the other day actually about Bandito, but I'd include Mark Briscoe too. If I was gonna start a wrestling company with like 10 stars, they'd probably both be on my list.
Yeah,
Because I think you could put Mark Briscoe with literally anybody and it's gonna be entertaining.
sure it is.
Do you need serious? Do you need funny? Do you need emotional? I mean, what do you want brawling? Do you want technical? Do you want a tag? Do you want a singles? Do you want a scramble? Like whatever it is, I feel like he is just the jack of all trades, man, when it comes to being a television wrestler.
And he's one of those guys that is universally liked backstage.
Yeah, how could you not like him?
Right. Everybody likes Mark Briscoe. Every one of the wrestlers like Mark Briscoe. And the guys in production, the announcer crew, and Tony Khan, everybody likes Mark. And he's just a down to earth guy, man.
He's not like your boy Taz. He's not No Show Jones. You know, he's got 9 kids. He don't pull out of nothing. He makes all of his dates.
Okay, so by the way, I just want to, Dave, if you'll underscore when you're sending out that to social media, that those comments were from Conrad Thompson and not me. Okay, just make sure that he knows.
What, the Taz is No Show Jones?
What
Well,
you,
he's not going to be able to kick my ass for 6 to 8 weeks.
no, I know he's not.
I mean, is Taz like one of the most biggest bright spots you've had since you've been back in wrestling? He's got to be, right?
In my life.
Yeah.
I mean, but two reasons about Taz. Number one, when I first saw him and hadn't watched any ECW, and we first started watching this on this podcast, I went, "That son of a bitch is a badass, man." That's I loved watching his matches because it was legit, right? I mean, he was just a badass. And then I got to meet him, and then he's so. He and I have some great conversations about about baseball, about a lot of stuff, and when he gets going and he gets upset, it's the best. It's the absolute best because, well, it's Taz. You'd have to know him to love him. But yeah, it's one of the great renegade joys of me returning to wrestling. No doubt.
We're watching Ring of Honor main event spectacles. This went down on November 1st, 2003. We got the Briscoes here against Special K. Coming up shortly, we're going to have a scramble cage match that had all of the internet talking. We had the Backseat Boys, Trent Acid and Johnny Cashmere, wrestling against Teddy Hart and Jack Evans, wrestling against the Carnage Crew, which is H.C. Loke and Tony DeVito.
Mm-hmm.
Wrestling against the SATs, which is Jose Maximo and Joel Maximo, and another combination of Special K, which is Hydro, aka Jay Lethal, and Angel Dust, aka Azrael. This is going to be pretty nuts. It's the debut of a new format of a cage match called the Scramble Cage. 2 teams will start, and a new team enters every 2 minutes, and nobody can win until all the teams have entered. And there's platforms in the top of the cage for the wrestlers to dive off of. So it's just going to be absolutely nutty. And I can't wait for us to see it here. Hey, speaking of nutty, Tony, have you ever thought about trying to have relations with a tree?
No, never even crossed my mind.
Well, I know that once upon a time we told stories about, I don't know, Mr. Wonderful climbing a tree and taking a shit. And I thought maybe Tony would get a kick out of this fella here. Let's take a look.
I cream pied my tree. Here's how you do it. You stand there and then you fuck it. What the hell?
He looks and sounds like somebody from my hometown.
Let's run it back, see if you recognize him.
I cream pied my tree. Here's how you do it. You stand there and then you fuck it. What the hell?
Did he have a military hat on? Like he's a veteran of
Let's
military?
just check it one more time.
I think he did.
I cream pied my tree. Here's how you do it. You stand there and then you fuck it. What the hell?
Yeah, he's a former Marine.
Well, thank you for your service in more than one way, sir. We salute you. Hey, by the way, I know you can't tell it from watching this show or listening to this episode, but wrestling's kind of like a family thing. You know, you mentioned a few minutes ago that you've got grandchildren, and I know you've taken them to the matches. They went to Center Stage to see 1FW a few months ago, and your son famously once worked for AEW, and there's lots of people who have their wrestling family, but then they've also got their real family that sometimes comes around the matches. And I don't know that I've told you this, but a few weeks ago, I took my dad over to Atlanta to see a live taping of 1FW, and our buddy Adam Priest was wrestling over there. So he said, "Hey, it's a Sunday. I don't have anything going on. I'll ride over with you." So we made a day of it, and it was a great time. But Dad was excited to meet one wrestler in particular. Do you want to guess who he was excited to meet, Tony?
No. That's a whole range of things.
My dad was excited to meet Satnam Singh.
Wow.
And my dad never does this, but he wanted we ought to get a picture with him to send to your mama. So I took a picture of Dad with Satnam.
Okay.
He was gracious enough to take the picture with my dad, and I sent this to Mom. Take a look.
Vader Floyd.
He's dancing with Sodom. Oh God,
What'd you think?
that's tremendous. That's great stuff.
It's amazing what AI can do these days. It was just a
Yeah.
regular picture,
Yeah.
and then I said, "Hey, hey, Grok, why don't you have the big guy pick the shorter guy up, like on Dirty Dancing?" And that's what we got. Isn't that
Wait,
wild?
wait a minute. AI did that?
Oh yeah. Do you think my dad's actually dancing with Sodom? Let's roll it again.
Vader for it.
Wow.
It still makes me laugh. I don't know why.
It should. Oh, it should.
But that's what we need to do. You need to send me and Silva some fun pictures, and we'll get AI to do some silly shit with Lois. Oh, look what the Briscoes are doing here.
Whoa.
How about that? A springboard doomsday device.
Mm-hmm. Boy, they did some. There it is. The J
J
Driller.
Driller.
Yep.
That ought to get it done. And it does, even back in 2002. Can you imagine if he would have not had the tragedy, not had the accident, and he was a regular part of AEW today? Like, I don't know. It feels like Jay Briscoe would have been an even bigger star than he was in Ring of Honor if he had the AEW platform.
Yeah.
Unbelievable, man. What a match. Somebody asked me my top 5 tag teams the other day. I put the Briscoes on the list, and a lot of people were kind of shocked. But, man, I know that it was off the beaten path because it wasn't WWF or WCW, but how can you deny their body work?
Oh, my God. I mean, I saw the I was there and watched. Actually, I watched it from the stands, or from the back. Didn't watch it on the monitor. I watched their double chain match against FTR, and I knew I was watching two of the greatest teams I'd seen.
Do you want to guess how old they were here, by the way?
They were 26.
No, they were like 20.
Are you serious?
Yeah, man. These are babies we're watching right here.
Wow.
No, even less than that. This is 03. Jay Briscoe was born in 84. Mark Briscoe was born in 85. And this is from 2003. These are like kids, man. Like for real. Think about that. These guys are 18 and 19 years old right here. And Jim Cornette's their manager. And they got the Ring of Honor gold. Come on now.
Yep. Life is good, man.
Pretty fired up about it. Watch all of the old Briscoe matches right now at watchroh.com. That's where you can sign up for the Ring of Honor Club. It's only $9.99 a month, and I highly recommend it. Pretty fired up about this next match too, man. This is the one we were talking about. It's going to be that crazy scramble cage. Now, on the left right here is Trent Acid.
Mm-hmm.
He's at the forefront there. He's no longer with us. He passed away tragically several years ago. Less than awesome circumstances. His tag team partner is Johnny Cashmere, and they were the Backseat Boys. And Tony, these guys were staples in the Northeast Indies. They worked in all of them. And the idea is exactly what you'd imagine. They were the Backseat Boys. That's where they did their best work, in the back seat.
Oh, got it. Got it.
And a lot of people felt like Trent Acid was going to be one of those can't miss prospects. Like he might be a modern day Seth Rollins type performer. And of course, he left this earth way, way too soon. But boy, did he have an influence on those Northeast Indies. Coming out next, that's Teddy Hart. He is indeed a Hart. Ted Annis is his real name, but he is a member of the Hart family. And that's Jack Evans, who you actually spent some time with in AEW. And these guys were crazy, man. They were a big part of Mat Rats, which was a high-flying, short-lived thing in Canada. They did some brief stints on MTV, and now here they are. And Teddy Hart has always sort of marched to the beat of his own drummer. And this match in particular is his most infamous match. You're going to see why here in just a little bit.
Yeah, I read, I was going over the notes here, that Teddy, okay. Is it on here of him going?
Yes.
It's on here. Okay. Because I
So we're
had
gonna
heard.
start with 2 tag teams, and then we got Special K coming, we got Carnage Crew coming, and we got the SATs coming. So there'll be a total of 10 guys. And notice where the cage, the panels meet at the top. There is a platform.
Right.
These guys will be able to dive off of there. And if you've ever seen Teddy Hart or Jack Evans, or for that matter, either of the backseat boys, certainly the SATs, and for that matter, Special K, they're all sort of high flyers. And then you've got Carnage Crew, which is basically like a pickup of the Baldies from ECW. These guys are brawlers. And yeah. TJ Stevens wants to know, is this the Teddy Hart cage match? Yes, it is. And that's why we're watching it here tonight. You don't have to worry about us spoiling it, Bad Money Slim. Have a little patience. God damn it. It's going to happen shortly.
Bad Money's kind of trying to sound like Adam DeMoy a little bit, isn't he?
No. Adam DeMoy. How would you describe Adam DeMoy?
A piece of shit.
I would not describe Bad Money that way. He's
I
doing
would not either.
for us on
I
social.
said he was sounding kind of like him. I didn't
Oh,
say
I
he
got you.
was. Okay.
I got you. You ain't got to get hot about it.
So Teddy Hart, I worked with him in MLW, and he was pretty cool to work with. And I never will forget the response he got from the fans when he would come out. And of course, now we worked in a nightclub, so the crowd wasn't gigantic, but all those kids there knew who Teddy Hart was. And I guess this is based on his body of work. And he came backstage first year of MLW, first year of AEW, and wanted to meet Tony Khan. And Tony told him, I can't, because you got a cat with you. And Tony is terribly allergic to cats. And Teddy had the cat with him and had cat hair all over him. And Tony alerts to Teddy, I'm sorry. And he ran from Teddy because of the cat hair. So where they went from there, I don't know. But Teddy always had that white cat with him at MLW.
Yeah, he's taught that cat to moonsault.
Wouldn't surprise me.
I'm not kidding.
Well, no, a lot of things you say on here are bullshit, but isn't
that a random thing to make up though?
For you, no.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So now we're going to get another team coming in. Pretty soon. So how do you win the match? Pin, submission, throw somebody out the cage, throw both players out the cage?
I think you have to light their asshole on fire.
See? That's why a cat doing a moonsault is not too far-fetched hearing you say it.
All right, so that's HC Loke.
Okay.
Who was shocked bigger than shit on Facebook when we told everybody we were going to watch this next week. He's like, I can't believe this is happening. There's Tony DeVito, who you probably remember from the Baldies in ECW. He was one of my my first wrestlers that I remember when we first started podcasting being like, holy shit, one of the Baldies is following me. Shout out to HC Look and Tony DeVito.
Back body drops on the side of the cage. I like it. You don't see that much of that.
Think of them as almost like a modern day of this era, Nasty Boys, if you will.
Okay.
Just going to come in and brawl, beat you up. That's their kind of style.
Sure.
And I say that with love. You know that the Nasty Boys are one of my absolute favorite tag teams.
Right. Oh, I know that. And in the same vein as Public Enemy too, right?
Yes, that's a great analogy too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that if you're a hardcore ECW guy, you probably prefer the Public Enemy. I, for one, prefer the Nasty Boys.
Right.
But can you imagine how badass? I was thinking about this earlier today. It was with somebody else, though. Oh, Jeff Hardy. Can you imagine what a big star Jeff Hardy would have been in ECW? Like, I know he's a much bigger star technically in WWE, but, you know, the way the Raven character was built with all those promos and deep, insightful, thoughtful shit, like that would have been really, really interesting to see what he could have done with a Jeff Hardy, the artist type. And then, you know, he's got New Jack jumping off of shit. Well, Jeff Hardy could have done that. And he's got the crazy aerial stuff with Sabu. Well, Jeff Hardy could have done that. And then I started to go down the rabbit hole of, hey, what if the Hardys didn't go to the WWE and they went to ECW and they were working the Eliminators and all that other stuff? I just can't help but think that would have been a phenomenal fit. Obviously, they became much bigger stars and made way more money, but as an ECW fan, I would have loved to have seen it. And now just thinking about the Nasty Boys in ECW, that too would have been fun. Okay, so these are the SATs. Now, you're at least familiar with Amazing Red.
Right.
So he taught these guys, the Maximos, and they're all kind of out of that New York Homicide, Danny Moff contingent.
Okay.
So you're going to see them do some crazy stuff. It's been a long time since I've seen this, but you've at least heard of the Spanish Fly. And I'm not talking about the Bill Cosby gimmick.
Right.
Well, they were the guys who really put that on the map.
Okay. Yeah, Amazing Red is
Look at this innovation right here.
yeah.
You ever see this before?
No,
That's badass, isn't it?
that is badass. I'm surprised guys today won't go back and watch some of this stuff and come up with some ideas at a cage match.
That's what we're doing right here.
Well, I'm talking about guys who wrestle.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, they're going to watch us here doing it. Oh, by the way, well, I shouldn't say that on the air. It'll blow his deal. But there's a guy who everybody thinks is an asshole in wrestling. Just had a terrific interaction with him over the weekend.
Really?
Yeah. I don't want to spoil the deal, so I'll just tell you off air.
Okay. Okay.
But it was about the same thing you were just talking about. He saw something on a tape. It was an old tape.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, hey, I just saw this. I'm going to tell so-and-so to do it. And he demonstrated it. And I was like, that's pretty badass. And I haven't ever seen that before.
Mm.
I don't know why, but I like that. I like when you can watch an old thing like this and be inspired. Oh my God, Jack Evans is going to the top. Oh no, here we go. Here comes our next tag team. But first, take a look at this shit. Oh my God. So Teddy Hart moonsaults or Hurricane Rana's his own partner, Jack Evans. And oh yeah, so we're going for pinfalls.
Mm-hmm. My God.
I mean, how hard is this going to be to follow? Can you imagine being the commentator on this, the tough acting you're going to have here? In case you're wondering, that is a very young Jay Lethal in the ring right now.
We saw Jay Lethal at ringside. We didn't really mention on the last match.
Yeah, as a part of Special K.
Right. The lighting on the outside and even on the inside is obviously not too good here, but it is what it is.
This was always the issue and the chief complaint, that the lighting was just, it left a lot to be desired in Ring of Honor.
Right.
But when you're running gymnasiums and you're running a bunch of pipe and drape around, you want it to look good on TV, but then you've got to have a lighting tree, because it's not like you have a grid above the ring.
Right.
Just terribly expensive.
Of course. Who was running Ring of Honor back then?
This is still the Rob Feinstein era.
Okay.
So Rob Feinstein, Doug Gentry, and Gabe Sapolsky.
Okay.
Are kind of the three guys. And then eventually in 2004, that's when they're going to sell to our buddy.
Kerry Silken?
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, Kerry. I couldn't think of Silken.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for that. And he's really oh man, I remember this.
Oof.
Everything Jack Evans did just looked like he was wrestling's Gumby. You could do so much with him. I kind of like this version of Jay Lethal with the beard.
Yeah. God, he is so young here.
Yeah, he's a kid, man.
I see the backseat boys on the outside. I think I recognize them with those hats on and everything. Those goofy looking hats. Maybe.
Oh, that's Special K. Those are supporting members of Special K.
Of Special K. Sorry.
Yeah.
But guys that we saw in the.
So one of the members of Special K's already got some color.
Mm-hmm.
One of the Maximos taking it to Teddy Hart as he throws him back in the ring. What do you think of the corners? Instead of regular turnbuckles, they've got like the boxing pads that say ROH and Honor. What do you think of that? I kind of like it.
Yeah, I do too. It's unique, right?
Yes.
Doesn't WWE have something like that too?
No, they're
Or-
still using regular ass
They
turnbuckles.
are? Okay. I haven't watched them in like years.
Now NXT may have at one point that I don't recall, but
Okay.
oh, that was like a half-ass muscle buster right there from
I'm
DeVito.
shocked.
Not to
How do
say
you-
he was half-assing it, just saying it wasn't Samoa Joe. That's all.
Right. How do you, man, how do you keep up with this shit?
It's just chaos.
It is. As an announcer, I'm thinking, how do you keep up with it? Who do you focus on? I guess you got to focus on a guy going up top.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Jay Lethal, you got to be thinking to yourself, do I really want to climb on this platform?
Yeah. No, you don't.
You want to talk about one of the more underrated performers in the business? I think Jay Lethal's that guy.
Oh my God.
He can do it all.
He can do everything. And
Oh, this is not good. He's up there with a Maximo. I wonder if they're going to set up a Spanish fly here off the top.
a Spanish fly.
A power bomb? Oh God, what is this? Nope. Maximo's got it. This is so dangerous. Can you imagine if they fail? God forbid.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Let's track a little bit of this Spanish fly off the top. That's what he's setting up.
They have him hooked. Northern Run. The one and only Spanish fly. My God, Lovey, I can't believe the action we're seeing here in the cage.
It's unbelievable, Tony. And one of the things I liked about this era of Ring of Honor is around their guardrails, they've got these like metal boards that cover up the guardrails that almost work like, I guess they're called dasher boards or dasher panels in hockey, but fans are beating on the metal coverings, and that's crashing into the metal guardrail, and it just makes a lot of noise. I think that's a cool element of these early Ring of Honor shows.
It makes it sound bigger and louder than it is.
That's exactly right. Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, I can see that. Jesus.
All right. So Teddy Hart, I think, is getting ready to make his way to the top. And this may or may not be where we started to see some problems. Let's track it here as he goes to the top with Jack Evans.
There's nobody in the ring now for them to...
And Jack Evans is up there. Teddy just moonsaulted off the top. Here comes Jack. Backwards. With the double moonsault, Tony. He did 2 flips, you son of a bitch. A double moonsault, Tony.
Unbelievable.
Have you ever seen anything like that double moonsault?
No,
Luke's got a belt now.
I haven't, Gabe.
It's okay to whip the Carnage crew in Boston. Carnage crew disqualified in Philadelphia for using the belts, but they can use them here. There's no DQ in this match. Luke is standing Angel Dust sign. Chris, I can't believe that what just happened.
Dude, this is wild.
I've never seen anything quite like that. All these athletes putting it all on the
HC Loke setting up one of the backseat boys here.
One of the corners got lost in all of that.
This is their finish. That's by Pal Driver. And that's it. He hit it. Philadelphia kicked by Trent. But a cover by DeVito. Oh, a save by Trent Acid. Oh, Carnage crew so close to victory.
Man, that was wild right there, dude.
Isn't it amazing that kids were able to keep performing after shit like that?
Yeah, it's wild.
I mean, if I'm right, and I think I am, there are no mats covering the hard floor at the end around the ring, is it? Or are there?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you got to think that Jack.
Yeah.
I mean, he did a double moonsault. He's dead.
Yeah, that's the gym floor. Right.
Trent Asset's getting people into it, man.
Boys eat. Then he jumps off.
So the backseat boys are going to be your winners here.
Mhm.
14 minutes and 13 seconds.
Mhm.
What'd you think, man? That was crazy.
That was crazy.
So yeah, I apologize. I guess I misrepresented what was coming.
Okay.
Teddy Hart went nuts and moonsaulted repeatedly off of the cage. It was cut off of the tape. It
Uh-huh.
was later on a tape called Ring of Honor Uncensored Volume 1. Look at Danielson pose here doing the Karate Kid shit. This is one of my, and I mean it, this is one of my absolute favorite matches of all time. I'm so excited for you to see this match, Tony. I've shown this match to almost all of my wrestling friends. I'm glad I get to show it to you. Even old school fans like Dick Bourne, who say, "Oh, I don't like the modern style. I like the way wrestling used to be." I put this on and he was all in, man. And this, I think, showcases what was great about Ring of Honor. You just had that crazy, I guess we'll call it what it is, a clusterfuck of a scramble cage. And now we've got Bryan Danielson and AJ Styles. And they're going to put on an absolute clinic here.
Okay. So I was reading our notes about this.
Yep.
Keep an eye out for Danielson shit talking to Heckler by Lally responding, "What the fuck do you know about wrestling? What the
Yep.
fuck do you know about wrestling?"
Yep. It's true. There's going to be a few things that are said in this match. And what's great about this match is they don't try to just work the high flying style that you assume these guys are going to work, especially in this era.
Right.
They go more ground based, more reality based, more grappling based.
Uh-huh.
This is going to look and feel like an old school Mid Atlantic match.
Yeah. It's kind of like what we saw last week with Samoa Joe and Christopher Daniels, right? I mean,
Yes.
that was
But I would argue this is better.
okay.
And maybe it's just my personal preference, but when I saw this one, I was just fucking blown away, man. And I had seen AJ Styles spectacular stuff before, but to
Yeah.
see him do all this technical stuff with Danielson and with intensity, like
Right.
there's a spot, I don't want to ruin it, but I guess I'm gonna. They're grappling in the ring and they're being very intense, and they go through the ropes down to the floor and they don't break. They just keep going.
Hmm.
And it's almost like if you've ever seen Family Guy, where Peter Griffin is fighting the chicken and they just keep going and they fight through everything everywhere. That's Danielson and AJ here. They just keep going. It was very believable. And I know some people don't prefer this style, and I wish we would see more of this style because, listen, man, you and I used to like it when we'd see Finley or Regal or got Dave Taylor do stuff like this in WCW. It felt different then, so it was special. And it could
Right.
be special again if people would give it a chance and do it. I mean, how fun is this, dude? All these reversals.
God, this is some amazing shit, man.
Look,
Here we
they're
go.
still
Yeah.
hooked up down to the floor.
Right.
Like you can suspend your disbelief a little bit with this, I guess is what I'm
course you
trying
can.
to say. Because if this was happening in a bar, we would believe it.
Yeah, it's one of those things I've brought up many times that Magnum TA and I talked about was this is the hook. This is the one match that got you thinking, this shit's real.
Yes.
Being able to know and work and kid and bust the balls with Taz, getting to know Eddie Kingston and getting to know Bryan Danielson have been three of my great thrills working with AEW. I brought this up many times. If you saw the Bryan Danielson interview that I did, I guess it was during Starcast, right? During
Yep.
I didn't even know I was doing it to the last minute, and I was so thrilled about doing it. And if you were there for that, and you know what I think about Bryan as not only a wrestler but as a person and as a conversationalist. A conversation with Bryan Danielson is unlike anything you have ever seen. I saw him one time getting worked on in the trainer's room. And he was talking about some of the crazy shit that he always talks about. I mean, his conversations are crazy. And the doctor or the physical therapist working on it looked up at me and says, "Please get him to shut up." I said, "I can't. Let him talk. It's great stuff." He's one of the great conversationalists of all time. And to hear he and Nigel go at it backstage, just their conversations, because as we know, we've talked about, and Nigel's talked about so many times, they had great matches. We watched them here, and so they know each other very, very well. It's just it's just good stuff, man. It's good stuff.
Silva, I don't know when it happens, but there's going to be a spot here shortly that I'm going to call for, and I'm going to need you to play the sound. And when I ask you to play the sound, I want you to bring it all the way to the top because I want it to be at full speed, full volume, so Tony can hear it. But there's a spot that befuddled me for a while, and I remember watching it over and over and over, and
Okay.
trying to figure out the magic. Like, how the fuck did they do this?
Right.
And I won't explain it, but I asked Hurricane Helms at the very first Starcast. We were doing an all-in watch-along back at the tent at the hotel because, as you know, all-in was sold out.
Right.
So when I came in before the show was over just to see how things were going and all that jazz, we wound up getting to catch up and watch some of it. And I said, there was a spot that happened, and I said, man, I could never figure that out. I saw Danielson do it to AJ in like 2002 or 3, and I've never been able to figure it out. And he looked at me like I had flaming turds hanging out of my mouth. Like, are you serious? And he explained it. And I was so disappointed in myself for not getting it. But I want you to see it the way I saw it, because I think you're going to be pretty excited when you see it.
Okay. All right.
By the way, how about AJ getting a running start as he's Irish whipped into the guardrail, jumps it, and then enziguris him from the other side of the guardrail?
Yeah. AJ was pretty special. We knew that when he worked for us at the end of WCW.
He, of course, is going to be finishing his wrestling career next year. This past weekend, he had his final match in Japan. And of course, Bryan Danielson has had quite a career himself. I wouldn't call him officially retired, but he's certainly taking it easy for a little bit.
Yeah, he's doing a great job. He and I talk about his commentary a lot. He's asked me a lot of questions, and I just love having a conversation with Bryan, and I've tried to help him out.
What a drop kick.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's doing a great job on Dynamite.
They tried something interesting on this match, Tony, and we'll track it here in just a moment. But Gabe Sapolsky thought the match was so good. He was using a fake name here and being a commentator, but he said, hey, we're going to let the action speak for itself.
Mm-hmm.
So they're actually going to play this match. At this point, the commentary is gone. So it's just crowd reactions. And I think we're getting close. Look at the Beal. That's something you normally only see with big monsters, but I like when Danielson did it. All right, let's track it just for a second.
Come on, Styles, on the wall, track it. Come on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Come on, track it. Come on, track it. Who's the man down? What the fuck do you know about wrestling? What the fuck do you know about wrestling? You should know.
So we'll come back to the spot in a minute. I thought that may have been it, but we did get him talking trash to the fan. And I love that, by the way, because the fan had just been chanting that it was boring. He wants to see more high spots. And again, let's remember, they're following the scramble cage where you got a fucking double moonsault and people flying all over each other.
Right.
So, of course. Oh, wait, hang on. Let's track it. See him working the wrist, though. He's going to keep working the wrist.
Okay.
And those kicks are connecting. Danielson's talking shit to him, and that's one of the reasons I think Gabe laid out on the commentary is these guys talk shit to each other the entire match,
Right.
and because there's not a ton of high spots, you can hear, and so the blows as they're landing, you can hear the smacks and all that. But when he's working a wrist here in a minute, he does a move that I'm still like, Lord have mercy. How do they do it? Look at Danielson still eyeing the fan. I think he called him sugar pie. You're next, sugar pie, or something like that.
First thing I'm going to do when I see Danielson Wednesday, I'm going to say, I'll give you $10 if you turn around to a fan and say, what the fuck do you know about wrestling? See if he catches on.
I mean, here's what I like about this. You're suspending your disbelief for a minute because these guys are actively going for pins as often as they can.
Right.
Like from every position, it really is like an amateur fight. And now with this double underhook, which he uses for his cattle mutilation, he's primed for the knees, and then there's the big suplex. Danielson's so young here, so good. Both of these guys are in their early 20s.
I was thinking the same thing, and you said it. Danielson looks so young.
But look how he continues to, and I know you would love this. He's working a body part. He's been working his arm the whole time. And now look at him talking shit to everybody. I think he says, well, I'm going to kill you.
He was a good heel, man, wasn't he?
He's fantastic.
Yeah.
Because even though he's not like the biggest guy, you kind of view him as almost like that. Oh, let's track it right here, right here. Tony, how did he do that?
I don't know. Without breaking it?
I mean, you heard it like I did.
Yes.
I mean, what the fuck was that?
I don't know.
This to me is in my top 5 favorite matches. Nobody ever lists it. I know I'm in the minority. It's not for everybody. But this made me a Bryan Danielson fan for fucking life. I was already into AJ. I'd seen what he was doing in Ring of Honor. And I'd seen some, in TNA. And I'd seen some great Danielson stuff before. But this one was the one that just put me over the top. And I was like, well, he's the best wrestler in the world.
Right.
We're getting lots of comments here. Danielson here looks like 1995 Steven Regal. That's a compliment.
Yep. Sure.
TJ Stevens says here in 2003, a 22-year-old Bryan Danielson was working for Ring of Honor, New Japan Pro Wrestling, All-Star Wrestling, Frontier Wrestling Alliance, WAW, FIP, and PWG.
Jeez.
He was in demand, Daddy.
Mm-hmm. He sure was. And now, if you were with us at StarCast and saw that interview I did with him, he now is has a first aid ranger, which means if someone gets hurt in the woods in Washington, he'll have to go out and take care of them.
Isn't that wild?
It is.
Can you imagine? You think you're like you're a goner. Some bear's gonna come get you.
Yeah.
And then in the haze, Bryan Danielson appears.
Yeah.
And you're like, are you here to save me? And he goes, yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes. Will you be able to lift my big ass? No. 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 Do we have cell reception here? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he's training to be a volunteer fireman. It just
he's not going to be bored.
No, he's an amazing human being on so many levels. He really is. Now they're going to the legs, huh?
Yeah, man, they're working holds. I mean, they're working body parts, and I dig it.
Yeah, I do. Oh, look at that. I do too.
I mean, you want to talk about a single leg. That's as deep and convincing of a single leg as you can get. And now hooking the arm too and doing the face wash with it too, just grinding it in. Dude, this is like some Steve Regal shit.
Right. Grinding the ear too, which, by the way, there's no way to work that one. That's going to hurt.
Yes. Bad Money Slim says, it's been amazing so far. It's going to continue, buddy. I absolutely love this match. I'm so glad I get to share it with you guys. I can't thank Ring of Honor enough for this. Do you see that? Where he did just pulled him down onto the shoulder too? Like, that's unbelievable.
Yep.
He's going to set up the figure 4. Let's track it here. You will have to bleep something in a minute, Silva, but you can do it in post. Play it.
No! Give up! I picked Dusty with it!
Give up. I beat Dusty with it.
Yeah, you.
Now, okay, we're going to get rid of the other part.
Right.
But give up. I beat Dusty with it. It's such a great line because he had just wrestled Dusty Rhodes in TNA and he beat him with an old school figure 4.
Yeah.
And the idea that as he's talking trash to him, give up, I beat Dusty with it is the greatest line ever. I don't know why it tickles me.
Oh my God.
But between the wrist pop, what the fuck do you know about wrestling? And give up, I beat Dusty with it.
Jeez.
TJ says AJ Styles was 26 here. He's working for Ring of Honor, TNA, IWC, CZW, MXPW, and PWG. Both guys here making the rounds. Bryant, shout out to Bryant. He says, now I want to watch some Danielson versus Homicide matches. And he suggests when it comes to you that we really need to show Tony Dusty Rhodes matches from Ring of Honor, like the bunkhouse match where he teams with Homicide. We got to get some of those in there. So in the coming weeks, we will be watching more Ring of Honor. I've had a fucking blast with this show today, Tony.
Yeah. You know what? I just like some of the old ECW stuff that I had never seen. This makes you love wrestling again.
It does, dude.
And I'm going to, and I like the modern stuff. I really do. But this makes me love wrestling more than that cage scramble did.
Oh, there's no doubt. I mean, that was a crazy spectacle and it was fun for what it was. But this is so logical. Like, I don't know if you saw, but AJ started kicking him low, kicked him high. I mean, he worked his way all the way up, just stomping the head. Like, I don't know. It feels like you're watching two peak athletes. This is like if you were going to really position wrestling like it was a quote unquote sport. This is like as close as we could get, I think, to being like a UFC type presentation that's still entertaining. You know what I mean?
Sure.
It's believable.
And nobody's gone up top, have they?
No, that's what I mean. Like, we've not seen any 450s. And that's got to be by design because it's like, guys, they were just doing fucking double moonsaults. We're not going to be able to compete with that. Let's go do something different then.
Right.
And boy, they did. And I think it's been tremendous.
Now he goes up to the middle rope and just lays him out.
You know what would be fun? We ought to get you and JR to do alternate commentary on this match.
That would be pretty cool, wouldn't it?
I'm just saying, like, since there's no real commentary anyway, because they laid out, imagine if we could redub this, because you're both familiar with AJ Styles and Bryan Danielson.
Right.
And now you can call it with the benefit of hindsight, however you want to. But I just think that could be so cool.
Holy smokes.
Wasn't that awesome, dude?
Yeah. It looked like he was just going to do like a rolling elbow, but he did a roller and then hit him in the mouth with his fist, it looked like. Now he's going to go up top. Here we go.
The headbutt.
Flying headbutt. And one of our audience members here, I think it's Bryant, said Paul Turner is the referee here.
He is, yes, sir.
Boy, Paul looks a lot different now, doesn't he? Well, we all.
Yeah, 23 years later.
Yeah,
22 years later.
Paul's lost a lot of weight. Boy, it's such a great referee too.
Yeah, it's a nice guy too.
Yeah, nice guy, just as serious about his work. Brian comes off of that with a cravat. How about that? And throws him over the top with it.
They had their first match, these two did 51 weeks earlier on a show called All Star Extravaganza. And if you go back and you watch that one, you can see how much these guys have grown as performers just in that 51 weeks. I mean, that was a great match, but
Right.
there's so much growth here. And a lot of that is because in this era, Danielson was really challenging himself. I mean, he had wrestled all over the world and learned a lot. I mean, he was, honing his craft. And I know people throw that around, but I think Danielson really did. Look at this top rope. Oh, and AJ turns it in the air.
Hmm. The way they hit too, it wasn't at work. That hurt.
No, that hurt. There's no way to work all this.
Yeah.
We're getting close to the finish here. They're going to go 24 minutes and 15 seconds. We don't have a ton of time left, but
Oh, great counter.
look at this, dude. Danielson standing on the ropes on the inside,
Mm-hmm.
picks up AJ from the apron and does a back suplex. That's unbelievable.
It's almost out of the Brian Cage playbook.
Yes, but respectfully, Danielson not near
Not near the
stature
right,
of-
not near that size.
Yeah. TJ points out, nice subtle piece of this match. AJ has now put his elbow pad around his wrist.
Wow.
Because Danielson was working it so much. And you see Danielson's pulled his his pads all the way down.
Right. Yeah, the subtleties, man.
All right, so Danielson's going for his finish here. This is the cattle mutilation.
Right.
But the story here is we're going to get to the ropes. Still working that elbow and arm. Trying for a suplex here. Wrestle him down.
Got it over.
Going for the cattle mutilation again. Right in the middle of the ring this time.
A lot of the guys are cheering except for that one jackoff.
AJ not submitting.
Yep.
Ryan tries for a pin. Kicks out. He's arguing with Paul Turner, saying that was 3. Danielson wondering at this point, what's it going to take to finish AJ? And then check out AJ here out of nowhere. Breaks the hold, and then a classic from AJ, the Pele kick.
Mm-hmm.
I dig this, man. I hope you guys are liking this as much as I am. I hope you'll watch along with us. If you haven't already, you can hear the enthusiasm in our voice. We're loving it. We want you to watch with us. Our YouTube is whwmonday.com. Go right now and watch this match along with us. You will not regret it. Big old lariat there from AJ Styles.
One of the things that makes this match so great is the selling.
Yes. All right. So you see AJ calling for the Styles Clash. He's going to try it here.
Mm-hmm.
Danielson pulls himself up and headbutts AJ. He can't nail it. Oh, so now he's going for a submission. He's got like a cross arm breaker here.
How many people have a hold named after them, do they?
And look what AJ is going to do here, if I remember the finish right. I think he's going to hit the Styles Clash out of this. Look at that. Out of an arm breaker into a Styles Clash. Nobody would have seen that coming.
Mm-mm.
Let's track it. What do you think, Tony? What do you think of AJ Styles and Bryan Danielson main event spectacles 2003?
Yeah, 5+ stars.
It was outstanding, dude. I loved
it. It was unbelievable.
So fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. We want to hear your suggestions in the comments. We're going to try to watch as much old school Ring of Honor as we can. I had such a good time with this. And maybe in the coming weeks, we can actually get the uncensored version of Teddy Hart flipping around. Maybe we'll come up with that. But what do you think? You want to watch some Dusty Rhodes in Ring of Honor and doing some stuff next week? Or what are you in the mood for, Tony?
Dusty and AJ Styles, I've kind of been in the mood for. We've talked about this. I don't know if we can throw it out there. But you know, I've gotten to know Robert Evans quite well.
Oh yes, let's do that.
Yes, Robert Evans quite well, and of course Bryce Remsburg and Chuck Taylor and the old fire ant himself, Orange Cassidy. So I'd like to see some of their old matches. Robert Evans played a character called Archibald Peck, and I want to see some of Archibald Peck wrestle.
Okay. We're going to do it next week here on the program. Then we'll watch some Shakara. How about that?
Some Shakara. It's the Robert Evans stuff that he did was pretty incredible. It was over the top stupid, but just knowing how he thinks, because he's a very, very smart guy, it was pretty innovative stuff.
Well, we will pin down some of that. I know one of our guys who helps us out behind the scenes, Mr. Derek Sabato, great friend of everyone from the Northeast Indies, from Claudio to Eddie Kingston on down the line. He can help us get some of that Chikara footage. So we will be taking your suggestions if you want to see some favorite Archibald Peck stuff. Or what do you think? Could we get him on the show? Would he come on and watch some with us, you think?
Oh, of course he would. Yeah.
Well, that's what we should do. Let's see who he what matches he wants us to nail down.
Okay.
And we'll get Sabato working on locking down the footage, and we're going to have a blast. And listen, as much as I enjoy talking about old wrestling, the only thing I like even more than that is saving people money at savewithconrad.com. I was just cruising through our reviews over at conradreviews.com, and I saw we just got a new one over the weekend from Jeff. He says, this lender is a one-stop shop if you're looking to buy a house. They walk you through the buying process. I would recommend this lender to anyone. They are number one. Shout out to Jeff for hooking us up with that positive review. Just so many 5-star reviews over there. There's actually 1,073 different 5-star reviews. Our average rating is 4.75 stars. If we were a wrestler, that would mean we might actually be the best wrestler in the world. We would love to help you out. And what I mean is, we are not the bank. You don't need perfect credit or money out of your pocket. And we don't say no. We say not yet, but here's how. I kind of like to think that everybody wants the same things in life. We'd like to own a house. We'd like to help our kids with college so they don't get saddled with student loans. And we'd like to retire on time, comfortably. Well, in order to do that, you need to retire your debt. And if you don't have a plan, I want to help you with that. Here's the real quick way to know if you have a plan or not. How old will you be when you pay your house off? I routinely have conversations with some of our listeners who are, say, 40 years old and they want to do a 30-year loan. And I ask, hey, man, when do you plan to retire? Oh, I'd like to retire at 62. Well, what are we going to do with those 8 years worth of house payments? Let's get out of debt and consolidate some of the other debt to make your monthly payments much lower. But in the process, let's shorten your term. It's plainly said, what I'm trying to do is get you out of debt faster and with cheaper monthly payments. And it's easy to do. First step, though, we've got to address where are you right now and what are your short-term goals? It might be, hey, man, I need to skip a couple of house payments. I'm stressed to the max, and I'd love to lower my payments by like $500 or more if I could. Well, let's see if we can restructure some of your debt to get you that $500 savings. But what if I could save you $1,000 a month? Why don't we take that extra $500 that you're saving And let's apply that to the principal. By doing that, can we take your 30-year loan and pay it off in 20 years? Well, now if you're 40 and you're listening to this, you own your house free and clear when you're 60. More importantly, think about your kids. How old will they be when you pay your house off? Maybe you've got youngins running around right now that are like 1 and 3. What if I could put you into a 15-year loan and you own your house free and clear before the youngest is driving and the oldest goes to college? Kids needing cars are going to be expensive, especially when they need insurance. And then when they go to college, that's going to be expensive. And I know what you're thinking to yourself, Conrad, I can't afford a 15-year. I think you can't afford not to. You see, a lot of people just think about their mortgage as this separate piece of debt. Let's take a look at your overall picture. What do you have coming in every month? What do you have going out? Can we create some margin? Can we create some breathing room? Now, if you don't do this, what happens? Well, you wind up working until you're 70. Your kids have to go get student loans or spend 10 minutes with us. Let's just look at it. How can we save you money now? And how can we make sure you don't waste money later? Here's the reality. You're going to pay for somebody's kids to go to college. Do you want it to be yours or the banker's? Let's get out of debt faster with cheaper monthly payments, and it's no cost, no obligation. Let us run the numbers and get you a plan together right now at savewithconrad.com. And again, you don't need perfect credit. So even if you filed bankruptcy, you still need a plan. Don't be bashful. Everybody's got issues. Everybody's got stuff. And we're going to get a plan to get you where you really want to be long-term together at savewithconrad.com. NMLS number 2129, equal housing lender. Did I mention no house payments for 2 months? That's right. Right now, you don't have to make your November or your December payment. You're done until next year. Take a little Christmas vacation from house payments at savewithconrad.com. Tony, we're getting that Shakara locked and loaded for next week, but right now it looks like it's about that time.
And we got this also a review in from another listener named Jeff. This is Jeff J. from Hendersonville, Tennessee. And he says, tell Conrad that Alabama sucks, go Vols. And all of us Mountaineer rednecks feel the same way. Jeff, Orange sucks, and so do you. See you next week on What Happened When. We come to you each and every week on the Libsyn Radio Podcast Network. But each and every Mondays, we come to you exclusively on
Patreon, patreon.com/WHW Monday. And of course, adfreeshows.com.
Jarrett's a hillbilly.